Good evening, board members. Tonight we're here to present an annual update of the Pulaski Skyway Rehabilitation Project. We are project managers at Iron Works. My name is Clara Torres.
My name is Anthony Marmora.
I'm Greg Fallon.
And John Mazzarella.
All right, so let's start with the outline for the entire presentation. So just to go briefly on the outline, we're gonna have an introduction, an executive summary, scope of work, cost analysis, and comparison. Briefly about our company, Iron Works has been in the construction business for over 60 years. Our main function is the construction and rehabilitation of steel bridges. We are the premier iron and steel construction company in the entire East Coast, and we're headquartered in Kearney. A brief history on the Pulaski Skyway. It was part of the Route 109 extension project, which started in the 1920s. It was assigned by New Jersey Department of Transportation and with their engineer Sigvald Johannesson. It was named after General Casimir Pulaski, which was a hero of the American Revolutionary War. It opened in Thanksgiving and in 1932. It's a 3.5-mile long steel structure with 4 11-foot lanes to each direction, no shoulders. A few of the concerns are potholes, which causes damages to the cars. The structure also, it's getting deteriorated, and corrosion, and does not comply with the code. The current sufficiency rating for the bridge is 2 out of 100%. The interior ramps entrances also need major upgrades. Just briefly show you a couple pictures of the deteriorations, the corrosions of certain parts of the bridge.
There are several feasible alternatives to consider before selecting the rehabilitation of the Pulaski Skyway. Of course, rehabilitation involves major repairs to all aspects of an aging infrastructure. It involves partial closure of the commuter roadway. It involves the lowest overall time to complete, but it's also the most cost-effective, and it's a restoration of a historical landmark. We can build a new structure, build a brand new bridge parallel to the Pulaski Skyway. It would involve state-of-the-art engineering and materials. The current Skyway can remain open during construction of the new structure. It involves the highest capital investment, and there are serious environmental concerns involved. Or we can choose to do nothing. Over $90 million was spent the last 7 years to keep the bridge in working order. That would allow the structure to deteriorate, eventually lead to the closure of the road. There'd be serious public safety concerns, and the local bridges do not have the capacity to handle the excess volume. The selected alternative was to rehab the existing Skyway. The alternative requires a minimum investment of capital and provides the most satisfactory functional results. The ability to roll out safety procedures the quickest. Improved quality of final project. It has the lowest construction costs and reduced risk compared to building a new structure. The project scope statement. The goal of this project is to repair the Pulaski Skyway by replacing the entire bridge, deck, address structural deficiencies, and upgrade drainage and lighting systems in an effort to improve the overall condition and while minimizing commuter delays. The end product will provide residents of New Jersey as well as other stakeholders with a reliable passageway over the Passaic River.
The project is composed of 10 phases. Currently, phase 1 and 2 have been started and done, and we're currently at phase 3 and 4, which is pretty much to renovate the deck. And currently, we're renovating the northbound side. This is why we have closures on the Pulaski Skyway, heading towards Jersey City. And then just like phase 5 will be the full rehabilitation of the Kearney and Broadway ramps. We'll have steel repairs, seismic retrofit, and finally painting the steel structure.
The scope of work. We held a bidder conference to determine who would receive the contracts. Contracts are important in projects of this magnitude. It's very important to identify stakeholders before accepting a project. Stakeholders are anyone that has interest or be affected by the project. We identified stakeholders as commuters, New Jersey residents, business owners, also the Port Authority and other transit agencies. Source of funding, since it's a state project, the budget is paid for by the state of New Jersey and the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey.
Which that's definitely a perfect segue to what I'm about to speak about. My name is Anthony Mamora, and I'm going to talk about the financials of this project. To start off with, obviously this is a pretty long project. It's about a 6-year project. So with a project that's that long, we're obviously going to need a pretty hefty budget. So the budget that we're requesting is $1.2 billion, and that's $1.1 billion towards expenses, leaving about $100 million for a contingency, which is roughly about 8 to 9%. The annual expenditures for the year 2014 is going to be about 13% of the total budget, and it's going to peak out around 2017 at 21%, and then at the year 2020, it's only going to be about 5% of the budget, resting at $60 million. Now I'm also going to talk about the resource cost breakdown. The roadway costs and bridge costs are definitely going to take up the bulk of it. It's going to take up about 91% of it, but that's even sub-broken down to construction and designing and even project management within those. Now onto the project schedule. The duration is going to be about 6 years, and rerouting plans is going to be something that's going to be ongoing. Like Clara spoke about earlier, we already have things that are being developed right now that you're going to see some rerouting taking place from like around Kearney, around Jersey City, and this is something that's going to be ongoing for the entirety of the project. Some of the major milestones and deadlines is the deck replacement, the steel repairs, and in the year 2020, it's just going to be painting and fine touching, just getting it all wrapped up.
All right, and pretty much Anthony was saying, the project is going to take approximately 6 years. However, there's certain risks that are associated with this project. It's a very large project, and basically the 4 major sources are going to be the cash flow from stakeholders, private funding, wherever it may come from at this point, may be held up. The next is going to be impact on the economy, the resources and equipment, and improper comparison of alternatives. You have to have certain risks associated and plans to mitigate that as much as possible. Basically, if the budget were to overrun, it would be due to maybe labor, commodity prices for the steel and the copper of the deck replacement, and then also the lack of resources due to weather. Inclement weather, Hurricane Sandy, that's something that's a realistic threat at this time. Basically, a few more other risks to go over is just, the logistics of getting the material throughout the country to this highly congested area, and again, cost and budget to make those on time. And basically, even though there are risks that are involved with this, real simple. The risks are very minimal compared to rewards of this project. More of the risk management to go on that. Project or operation failure. If we run into shortage of funds throughout the project, this happened frequently in the past. Project delay, again, due to resources, due to prices, due to logistics and material. And then if we were to run into the risks of time or money, this would upset the commuter and the citizens of this local area because there would be major traffic delays and not sufficient roads and highways to drive out to get to work, and etc. And basically, in this tri-state area and the metropolitan area, there are a few other projects similar to the Pulaski Skyway. The first one is going to be the Verrazano Bridge. There's currently an $84 million contract to renovate the HOV ramps, and very similar to our Pulaski Skyway. It's for commuter to decrease traffic. The actual bridge itself is not, when it was built, was not able to handle the traffic flow of today. The next project that's also going on is the Bayonne Bridge. Similar, but the Bayonne Bridge is going to be getting the deck raised in order for boats and cargo ships to get into the local ports of Newark and etc.
We just wanted to thank the board for taking out the time of your day to listen to our presentation and represent Ironworks. Thank you.